Hey, so I just want to talk to you guys about something. Do you remember in the Old Testament when Moses and all the people weren't allowed to enter the Promised Land? Do you want to know why the older generation could not enter the Promised Land, but the younger generation did? It's because the older generation chose not to believe God. They kept claiming God save us, and then they would follow their own ways or their own idols, and then God save us, follow their own ways, their own idols. So they never got to enter the Promised Land. But their children were watching what would happen. We're not doing that. We're believing God. And they took over that Promised Land. They took over that promise of God. That's actually what I see happening now. What people learned when we were younger, all of our parents or grandparents, they didn't fully believe everything the Bible said. Instead, they believed historians, they believed historical books, they believed apologetics, they believed everything but what simply the Word of God said. And they didn't fully believe what God said. Now, anybody's heart that was right towards God, He used it, and He used it for His kingdom because He can turn anything for good. But anyone whose heart wasn't towards God, it led people into a greater deception and a greater evil. Well, guess what? God is rising up a younger generation who chooses to believe Him, who chooses to believe what His word says and not another person, what another person has to say, that is willing to listen to what that person has to say and then line it up biblically like a Berean to see if what they're saying is true, not to follow blindly. So young people, choose to believe God. Enter that promised land as He has for you. Leave aside all the old ways of thinking that held everyone else back in the past.